Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, it doesn't work without you guys. You know, it's funny. It's funny as can be. I want to clarify something right now because, see, here's what people assume. People assume that, Mark Holmes, he is just literally just a Dak defender. He thinks he's the best quarterback in the history of the NFL. And nothing can be further from the truth. Dak Prescott is a fourth-year quarterback in the NFL. I hope that this isn't the peak of where Dak is. I hope that the trajectory that he's had, where he has literally been getting better year after year, continues. The reason why I end up posting so much about Dak Prescott is to counteract the lies. Do I believe that he is the best quarterback in the NFL? No. But he's not what people make him out to be, which is that he's trash, he's a bum, get him out of here, he's a dink and dunker. So when people say he can't get the ball downfield and he doesn't have a baby arm, and I point out that he's got 3 receivers in the top 20 in yards per completion, per catch, that clearly isn't dink and dunk. The fact that you had 4,902 yards passing when you led the league in drops is an amazing thing in itself. And when people say the only reason why the Dallas Cowboys aren't in the playoffs is because of Dak Prescott, no. It's a collective thing. And by all means, I'm not saying that Dak is free of any blame whatsoever, that he is Saint Dak, like you guys are saying. But I'm trying to point out that, there's some games where you have to look at things and say, some of that's beyond Dak's control. Like when you have a player going down the field and getting a touchdown, and the referee calls phantom tripping. So instead of you having a touchdown, you now have, 2nd and 20. And when you have a quarterback who is literally getting lit up like against the Jets, and he doesn't get an unnecessary roughness call, and then the NFL comes back the next week and says, oh, you know what? Let's find those guys because that was unnecessary roughness. So instead of having a first down and being able to continue a drive, you got a quarterback who's writhing in pain on the field without at least getting the call. Whereas you see Tom Brady, where we know you don't touch Tom Brady. Literally in the playoffs, somebody went like that and it was unnecessary roughness. That these are things that make a difference in wins and losses. And just like you guys say, I cherry-picked statistics. There's some games where you look at and say, if the defense had made a stand here or there, or gotten the ball like they do in New England, that it makes a difference in winning and losing a game. And so, by all means, am I satisfied with Dak Prescott? No. I'd like to see him become the best quarterback in the history of football. I'd love to see him have more touchdown passes and yardage than Tony Romo. But the reality is you don't know. And when I say things like, because we talk about people, it's about wins and losses. Well, he's second most in wins and losses. But apparently, the only win that counts is the second one for Carson Wentz this past year. Because they say, he didn't show up. But injuries don't seem to matter when it comes to Dak Prescott because Carson Wentz, he plays, 4 passes in his playoff game before he gets hurt? The third year in a row he doesn't finish the season? That's okay. We listen to stuff that, Dak Prescott's got a great supporting cast, but the reality is before the Cowboys drafted Michael Gallup, how many teams wanted Michael Gallup and said he's going to be a great receiver because he went in the 3rd round? How many people wanted Amari Cooper or thought that Amari Cooper was a bust and that the Cowboys are crazy for giving up a number 1 for him? How many people wanted Randall Cobb because most people said Randall Cobb, he's past his prime. He's done. Nobody wanted any of these guys. Yet now they're thriving under Dak Prescott. So one of the arguments they say that a franchise quarterback elevates the people around him, it looks like Dak's doing that. When people say he's a dink and dunker, and we averaged 6.5 per pass when we really didn't have a cast of characters. When you looked at Alan Hearns and Terrence Williams, Cole Beasley as your receivers, you could honestly look and say, yeah, he doesn't have great people around him. So that's the reason why I try and put out there what's going on. I don't know if that makes any sense or not. And, quite frankly, I enjoy debating with people who are just ignorant to what's going on in football. Because there's some of you guys that it's amazing how you will shift the narrative. I talked about Drew Brees, that half of his years were actually losing seasons. And a person says, well, that's because he didn't get a coach until Sean Payton. Because I said he had 3 years of 7-9. If you're killing Dak for a 1-8-8 season, then you're going to kill him for that. You turn around and say, oh, well, he had bad defense. And we talk about Carson Wentz and say Carson Wentz, well, he had nobody to throw to, even though he's got two of the best tight ends in football and has an offensive line that's been ranked higher than the Dallas Cowboys. But we get nicked and say, oh, well, you got an elite offensive line and great cast of characters and stuff that all Dak has to do is show up. That's why I do this. So if you, and I get it, that if you don't like Dak, you are not, nothing I ever say is going to change your mind. So my advice to you is, if you don't like Dak, by all means, don't watch this channel. I am not the place for you. There are plenty of channels out there that want to go ahead and hate Dak and everything else. So by choice, you choose to be here and listen to what I have to say. I'm Mark Holmes, and I got some ceilings and walls that need to be painted. I'll catch you guys. I'm sure I'll catch you haters right here, because I really believe you got no place to go, man. You got no place to go. You are addicted to me. That's all I can say. Have a nice day.